Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Mondays with Maya, number 61. Hey, Jima. Hey, Excel. Good morning.
Hey,
Yeah, well, we'll have a guest later today, TurboTrades, after our quick update. So, yeah, version 109 is right now on StageNet. All tests have been passing appropriately. Everything looks well so far. We still have to execute a churn there and do the last test for Arbitrum. But so far, so good. We were able to catch a consensus failure mode uh, last week. So, very good that we've been thoroughly testing, as those are better caught in stage than in production. So, yeah, so far, tests have been running well. Thank you, Jima, for working on those on Saturday, and to Chak also working Saturday and Sunday to make sure we can have that churn happen today on stage. And yeah, we'll keep you tuned, but things moving along would hinder us significantly. Um, yeah. Also, there's been a cool tweet. I think we can make it a bit more official, Jima, about this front end that we've been cooking with and working with, but we haven't really shared until it was a bit more of a done deal. But it was tweeted about this morning. Do you know which one I'm referring to?
I'm looking to bring it up.
Yes, a lot of what we work on typically is a bit behind the kitchen, and we can't speak by a protocol already. They've given an ETA of a few more weeks. So one of the greatest and oldest user interfaces for ThorChain is finally bringing Maya protocol on. So super exciting. It will be one of those great catalysts for volume together with streaming Arbitrum and Trust Wallet in the future. So just very exciting, and shout out to Jima as well on this and the relationship he's built with the ThorSwap team. So yes, what other news should we share, Jima? What can we share now? I think we lost Jima. Give it a minute, guys. Sorry for that. And welcome to TurboTrade. Sorry, guys. Short technical difficulty with Jima. He'll be right back. Um, yeah, for those that are big fans of Cacao Swap, um, yes, they've launched the synths also, I think yesterday or 2 days ago. So if you're a synth user and you like Cacao Swap, that should be good news for you. Um, Also, we've been working on, if you're looking forward to their airdrops and stuff, that token will have a pool on Maya. So yeah, definitely tune in to Cacao Swap and see what they're doing and what they're building. And yeah, TurboTrade, how are you? Welcome. Who's who's there
Hello,
speaking?
hello. How are you?
Excellent, thank you. So yeah, Well, why don't you introduce yourself and TurboTrade and what you guys are building?
Yeah, hello, I'm Cryptosi, and I'm one of the lead advisors on TurboTrade, and we are building a front end for Maya. So we'll be doing all the usual front end things that Maya powered dexes do. We will be able to allow users to swap between Dash and Kujira, and hopefully Arbitrum soon, and hopefully streaming swaps also soon. Put in your idle tokens for LP and all that good stuff.
Awesome, awesome. So when?
Okay, so the app officially goes live at 5 p.m. on Friday, the 5th of April, which is in just under 4 days' time. So on the 5th of April, everybody will be able to start swapping and adding their LP via our front end. We're also going to be producing some specially made tutorials to help people from the different ecosystems, namely Arbitrum, Kujira, Dash, help those guys to onboard themselves on using TurboTrade, and probably XDeFi as well.
Nice, nice. And what would you say is the advantage of using TurboTrades? What are you guys bringing?
Currently, at the moment, we're starting with just a nice user interface. So, something that's really nice and intuitive, something that people should be able to pick up quite easily. No fuss, no hassle. Moving on in the future, we've got quite a few things planned. Of course, I don't know how much I can say. I think there will be, I think I can say there will be a token at some point, obviously with an airdrop, but that will be a little bit more transparent than usual. So it won't be one of these secret things where we say, by the way, if you done such and such 5 months ago, then yes, it'll be something where we'll let users know long in advance. And yeah, that's it really. We're just going for a real nice, clean user experience. That should be the thing that brings people back, hopefully.
Nice, nice. And yeah, I'm always curious. How was your experience integrating Maya? How the documentation, the process, the support you were given by the team?
Oh, development's tough, isn't it? It's always tough. So integrating Maya was pretty easy, but as always, the last 10% takes 90% of the time. There was a lot of bug hunting going on, a lot of things that weren't quite working. We struggled a little bit with integrating with Apple OS with their browser. So we had a few problems there, but generally it's been, I would say, one of the easier integrations. So yeah, it's been good. It's been good. I can't really complain, to be honest.
Nice, nice. And I'm also curious. Uh, why did you guys decide to do a front end for Maya? Like, when did this idea start? How long involved have you guys been in Maya? Where did you listen about Maya?
Well,
How
the
did it all
the
get started?
TurboTrade team initially were going to start with Thorchain. I myself had a history with Dash, so I found out about Maya when the deal between Dash and Thorchain had collapsed, and then Maya came forward. After that, obviously, I started to follow Maya. So when the TurboTrade team came to me, I said to them, it probably be a better idea if you start with Maya. I think for me, I don't want to say anything bad about the 4chain guys, but for me, I think the Maya at the moment, they currently possibly have a better biz dev team. So getting through to get onto obviously spaces like this and getting help with our promotion, marketing, things like that, I knew would be a stronger mix with Maya. So what I did say to them was to start with Maya. So that's why we decided to start with Maya. Possibly in the future, it would make sense to add 4chain, add chain flip, and of course add Serai. I can see Luke Parker's here, so I've got to make sure I shout them out. And yeah, so so yeah, we decided to start with Maya for those reasons.
Luke, you should come up too, man. Request Mike if you like. Yeah, awesome. Uh, and I think that's what's interesting to me about also what Maya is doing of connecting more chains is that we engage people from different ecosystems, and those are inevitably brought into the cross-chain fold and become, not Maya lovers, but like just cross-chain Dex lovers, and that's how we start, just engaging more and more chains, more and more ecosystems quickly.
Well,
So very happy to hear you came from Dash. The Cacao Swap guys came from Kuji, and it's always so clear that the ecosystem is expanding.
yeah,
Welcome, man. How are you?
and also, sorry, also another thing I'd like to say is that we also, well, we all really like the camaraderie between the dexes. So it's like I've been in crypto for quite a while now, and it does get quite tribal at times, and that can be draining. It seems that with these dexes, with Thor Chain, Maya, Chain Flip, it seems that there seems to be more of a camaraderie. It seems that everybody's trying to help everybody to build better things and support each other. And I've got a lot of time for that personally. So that's another real reason why we decided to build TurboTrade.
Yeah, well, ultimately, like I always say, it's us against sex. Sounds bad, but it's good. And the thing there is, the more chains we're connecting, and the camaraderie sparks also for the fact that we connect with each other, and we're working on these user interfaces that they should become bigger, that the UX should be improved for the users, that we learn from each other, and at the end, we educate people that there's something out there besides just custodial central exchanges and wallets. And when they learn about it, be it from Chainflip, be it from Serai, from Thorchain, from Maya, they will inevitably hear about the rest and use the rest whenever it's more convenient. So we are actually stronger together, and I'm super happy and proud of that culture we've got going on cross-chain decks. At the end of the day, I call it like the
Yeah,
anti-maximalism or cross-chain maximalists, right? So it's kind of an oxymoron to have maximalism when your job is to connect so many
yeah,
chains
yeah,
of
yeah.
sorts.
Agreed.
Welcome, Luke. How are you? I cannot hear you. Can you guys hear him?
I can't hear him yet. Yeah, it looks like he's gone back to being a listener. Maybe you need to try to add him again.
Oh, well.
Kayaba. Hey.
Oh,
Crash one of my friend's Twitter spaces, and I thought, yes, I absolutely have to do that.
Oh.
welcome, sir. How are you?
Good. How are y'all?
All good. All
Yeah, I'm
good.
good, Kayaba. It's good. It's good to hear from you, mate. It's nice to bump into you.
Yeah, I was just listening to the Maya space because I had the time, and then suddenly you were on it. And I'm like, how did that happen? But apparently, I've been learning more about TurboTrade. So yeah, it's been good so far.
Well, that's good. I'd like you to take a good close look at it because once Serai is launched, I'll be twisting arms so that we can integrate Serai as soon as possible. So be ready to help.
Yeah, that's a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
So, look, some people here in this space might not have heard yet too much about Sarai, what the plans are, what your dates and stuff. I know you are still working on a lot, and you have one dev there helping you. But what can you share with the Maya community, and what can they expect?
Uh, just to start by saying I look forward to, any future discussions, Cryptosi. Regarding Serai itself, hello. My name is Luke Parker, also known as Kayaba online. Apparently, I'm completely crashing this Twitter space, and I actually do have to apologize to Cryptosi for that. Um, Serai decentralized exchange, initially looking to service swaps between Bitcoin, Ether, and Monero. And looking to expand from there. It's been under development for about 2 years now. We're currently wrapping up an internal testnet just to make sure that the actual testnet go well, because we prior launched a testnet, yet there were enough issues with it, we decided to restart it. The internal testnet's been fine, just doing the final test on it today, and then we're looking to actually relaunch the testnet over the next week or so. So if there are parties that would like to integrate with Serai, they can start writing such tooling. So yeah, that's kind of Serai and where it's at.
You can start twisting arms then.
Yeah, exactly.
TurboTrade.
Yeah, Cryptosi, you said you wanted to integrate as soon as possible. It sounds like that will be a week from now.
Okay, well, yeah, that's fine. I'll speak to the developers. We'll start looking at the documentation. I'll say one thing actually, whilst we're in a public space. People may not know about me, myself, and Kayaba. We've been very good friends for the better part of a decade now. It's been quite a while, quite a journey. And usually, what happens is if I'm involved in some kind of development project and things inevitably become difficult, I will generally call Kayaba and complain. So I think what may happen in this situation, Kayaba, is that you've actually caused yourself to get called and complained to once I realized that integrating Serai is not as easy as switching the computer off and on again.
So I think after about 6 years of dealing with this, I think I can take it.
You're used to it by now. It's a habit.
Yeah.
Nice. Well,
Alex, if you want to get in and be in Cryptosi support, but for Maya, you're more than welcome to take that from me.
well, I think I can bear some of the load, but definitely not when it gets too cryptographic. That's more your realm, man.
I think the problem is not so much the cryptography. I think it's the middle of the night calls. We're on quite different time zones, me and Kayaba, and I sometimes don't respect that, so I have to apologize. I apologize. I genuinely do apologize to Kayaba for that. But yeah, I'll apologize again, Kayaba. It's not nice of me to call you in the middle of the night and whinge that the developers are not pulling their weight.
I'm sure when it comes to Maya that they'll get you covered, Cryptosi.
Oh, they've been great. They really have.
And look, something that I think will interest a lot the Maya community is you're also doing a fair lunch with liquidity. I know you don't like the name auction, and you're still mad at me at that.
I'm not mad at you. I just disagree with you about that.
Yeah, I'm joking. But tell us about the fair lunch Serai will have.
Yeah, sure. So basically with Serai, we're looking at launching the network with no coins distributed. And over a month, we will solicit liquidity. So if anyone wants to provide some Bitcoin, which will be used as liquidity, they'll be welcome to do so. If anyone wants to provide Ether, DAI, Monero, they'll be welcome to do so. And at the end of the month, we will distribute Serai proportionally to the pools. So if we have, $100 of Bitcoin and $200 of Ether, the Ether pool will get twice as much Serai. There are some, tokenomics at play here. There is some, I don't want to call it a lockup structure, because actually the plan is that users will be able to remove their liquidity at any time. It's just if they remove their liquidity, they forfeit the Serai portion. So if you decide, hey, I put 1 Bitcoin in, I kind of need that back, you can just take the Bitcoin out, or however much it's currently worth. And there's a lot of commentary on that and ensuring that users who put in value at least maintain their value, that being the goal. But the reason I don't like to call it an auction is because we don't explicitly require anything. You're not giving it to us to use as liquidity for 1 year. You're not giving us the Bitcoin entirely. You still have control over it and are still able to remove your coins. To be clear, you still have control over the liquidity position and can still remove it. But yeah, so we're just looking to airdrop Serai to anyone who is willing to provide liquidity at the start, and they'll earn rewards from that. And once we achieve economic security, then the Serai portion will slowly be yielded to users.
Well, for anybody that participated in Maya's launch and Maya's fair distribution, this will all sound very, very familiar. There's a lot of that trickle there. Well, of course, with Kayaba's own take, and I'm very excited to see how that turns out. And yeah, definitely follow Luke here, follow Serai, and get informed. And if you did quite well in the liquidity auction and the launch of Maya, you'll probably want to participate in these too. So yeah, go check Sarai out, guys.
Thanks for the shout out. That means a
Uh,
lot, especially when I stumbled over my words a decent bit there.
no worries, no worries. I think there was a question now. Will TurboTrade be open source or closed source?
Initially, TurboTrade's going to be closed source. It's only a front end anyway, so the plan is possibly to open it up at a later date, but with Maya doing the heavy lifting and Maya being open source, we've decided not to make TurboTrade open source as yet. But that could change if the community really desires it for any particular reason.
Yeah, and for devices and stuff, is it meant to be just for web? Are you guys planning other devices?
It's
What's
it's
the
it's built for web, but it is mobile responsive, so you should be able to use it on the web and on mobile, but primarily it is a web app. In the future, there are plans to have it be a mobile app and even a standalone mobile app, but that's quite a way down the line. We're talking at least 6 months plus.
super cool, super cool. And yeah, something that me and Luke discussed for something in the future. It would take some time though. Would be having Serai, the token, on Maya protocol. That's something we'd love to do. We'd love to have. Everybody knows we like to be that glue. It would take some big effort. Luke has advice to advise on that, but he wants to retain the right for bug bounties, which he loves, and that's legitimate. So, what do you have to comment on that, Luke?
Yeah, generally, if you contribute to a project, they ban you from all bug bounties for it. And I know that we did discuss how we could structure it as an exception, but as someone who makes money from bug bounties, I don't always appreciate cutting myself off from that potential income source. But what I will note is, yes, obviously, I'm happy to give advice. Either Maya could expand with Schnorr signatures over Ristretto, which is what Serai uses, or Serai could theoretically expand with threshold ECDSA. That's something I've been researching in my spare time. Or, of course, the other option is simply to completely shunt it to user interfaces and just use Ethereum for a bit higher fees on the integration, but it would still work.
Yeah, no, I regarding the aggregation through Ethereum, I know that's what, for instance, ThorSwap now is trying to do between Chainflip and ThorChain, but it's a bit lousy, and the gas is just too high that it makes it quite difficult because you have the gas fee, you have the slip fee, you have the affiliate fee,
Right,
and
and
they
you
just
have
stack
the
on.
additional, say, 10 minutes of latency, which then further affects where the prices are.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a bit troublesome there. I think the advantages that Fortune and Maya have with Tendermint and you have with Substrate have to be taken advantage of uh, by aggregating with one of those assets. So yeah, I think that's the way to go
It sounds
for it to actually be useful. If it's through ETH, it's like interesting. It's like an interesting thought experiment, but in practice,
Um,
it doesn't really happen much.
I do have one idea that I can run by you later. I don't want to turn this into, the two of us literally designing the protocol on air. But there is one idea that might have a much better timeline for both of us. So remind me to run that by you after, please.
I will. We'll send you a message now.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'll respond to it after the space.
All right, guys. So also, uh, Keepkey is asking whether TurboTrade will support Keepkey integration. for its assets.
Yes, we are considering hardware wallet supports. Currently, no. At launch, we will not be supporting hardware wallets, but it is literally the first thing that we're planning on doing. So, if we could get in contact with the Keepkey guys, just in case we need any support with anything, then that would be brilliant.
I always love giving a quick shout out to Keepkeys. By the way, they've integrated now on ThorSwap, and every single chain on ThorSwap is integrated on Keepkey. And once they launch Maya chain, also every asset for Maya is there. The thing I absolutely adore about Keepkey, aside from being open source everywhere, everything, is that the UX is just so much better than Ledger. Not having to switch between apps, man, that's the dream. So definitely for me right now, the best cold storage out there, especially if you were going to be using multiple chains simultaneously. I think Ledger was fine when you just interacted with one chain at a time, but now that the world is cross chain, it doesn't make sense. And I just love Keepkey's approach there. So if you haven't gotten one, go get it. There's also a discount link, discount code from Maya for 10% off. I think if the host can put that up, that'd be great. But yeah, just I will forever give shout out to Keepkey
Well, you've
because I
you've sold it to me, so well done. I'll be getting one.
Well,
yeah, you
I'm
should,
def-
you should, you
I will
absolutely should.
definitely need one because if this is the hardware wallet of choice, especially if they are focused on multi-chain, because Ledger is a real pain when it comes to multi-chain. So yeah, I'm going to need one anyway for testing. So we'll end up picking up a few.
Enjoy, man, enjoy.
obvious comment.
Yeah, so guys, any other?
If your interface is open source, anyone can just make a pull request to integrate their favorite hardware wallet.
Do you know what? When I got the open source question and I saw that you was here, I thought to myself, he's going to call me after and he's going to say, why isn't it open source? Um, I'm not going to expose the TurboTrade inner politics on air, but it has been discussed, and I guess this space will lend weight to the argument to open source the code. So watch this space; it will more than likely happen now that Kyaba's given me a hard time about it.
I'm willing to get political and suggest a queue within TurboTrade if it offers open source software. You just need to drive out
Unintended
the
consequences.
opposition. You need to be the strong leader your organization needs.
Oh, Kayaba, thank you very much. Thanks for making my life nice and hard.
On a legitimate note, one of the main benefits of open source for businesses is that other developers and other organizations can not only contribute bug fixes if there's something annoying them, but also you don't have to explicitly rely on, say, corporate partnerships. But if Keepkey has the time and effort and wants to integrate with your side, obviously Keepkey can be the one to do the PRs. That isn't to shunt it to Keepkey and say that they should do it necessarily, just to say it gives them the option. Or it gives anyone who's a fan of Keepkey and wants their hardware wallet to work with TurboTrade to just do it themselves. So it is a very pro-business reason to be open source.
Only problem I would have would be the reviewing of the code once it's made and the time that may take. If it's Keepkey themselves, then more than likely the reviews wouldn't have to. Well, they would still probably need to be just as thorough, but that would be the worry that I would have. What would be your answer to that, Kaiba?
Get better at reviewing code.
No, you see. Okay, well, it's fine because I've got a good friend of mine called Kayaba who's great at reviewing code, great at finding bugs. So I'll push it over to him.
Do you have a bug bounty?
Yes, it currently stands at $25. Plus,
Yeah, I'll buy you a pint.
yeah, plus unlimited pints when you're next in London.
I'll consider it.
All right. Well, any more questions from the community, you can click the bottom right and write the question on the comment section, or on the bottom left there's a request mic option, and you can come here and ask questions to Maya, to TurboTrade, to Serai Dex. So use that opportunity now, or wait till next Monday. So guys, any question? By the way, there's a comment from Jima about what about open sourcing the backend but not the user interface, like the SwapKit Thor swap combo. So something to think about. I guess it's not a question, just something to explore.
Yeah, I think it does seem like I'm going to get to go back into our next Turbo Trade meeting we have, and I think open sourcing will be the discussion of the day. So um, I think sometimes if you open source only the backend and not the entire UI, it may be a job half done, and you may give away the parts that you actually care about the most anyway. So
Yeah,
if anything, we'll go full open source if we do.
nice. So we have Keepkey online. Hey man.
Hey guys, I just wanted to step in. A lot of my points are already made. I have been known to just make PRs into open projects, but I also just want to bring up that with the interfaces all collaborating, that's probably why we put so much effort into SwapKit. So that really helps with code reviews and that kind of stuff when multiple exchanges all use the same kits, the same npm packages. So I would recommend taking a look at the Keepkey package in SwapKit. You don't need to bring the entire SwapKit over. You can just bring in the Keepkey package. And I just wanted to reach my hand out. If you guys have any developer questions, I've been a developer for 9 years, and we're very motivated to help interfaces at Keepkey. So I just wanted to come up on stage and say hi and introduce myself and let you know that I'm available.
Awesome. Yes, I'll be reaching out. So thank you very much.
We have a full ensemble here. TurboTrade, Keepkey, Serai, Maya, what a space. So for the audience, it's a good time to ask a question, or we'll have some earlier end. But yeah, I definitely know about that spontaneous PR behavior that Keepkey is known for. I just remember one time, like, "Hey guys, how are you? Oh, good, guys. We just did the Maya chain integration out of the blue." So yeah, uh, Keepkey is truly doing a lot of that work out there. So just a phenomenal team. And yeah, I know SwapKit and Keepkey are working pretty tight together. So that's kind of also what SwapKit is doing. A lot of it will be useful to anybody, even if it's just looking at how they do things and then doing it your way. But it's a good, very good reference point. And shout out to Thorswap there of doing that to facilitate integrations for future UIs.
Yeah, it's also a bit of a throwback when because I haven't had it for a while. When the first time you meet a new person is when they do a pull request on your code base. So something that doesn't happen enough nowadays. So yeah, well done, Keepkey. Keep up the good work.
Yep, thanks guys.
It doesn't seem we have any more questions. So yeah, any closing thoughts from the speakers now on that you'd like to say before we go? Oh, hey, Crypto Italia, how are ya?
Hello, guys. I'm good. Just chilling out. It's a holiday here today. So, and I would like to ask a question about the integration of the few protocol of you. With the integration of Maya, Torchain, Flip, and Serai, I would like to know how the UI user interface like Turbo Trade will arrange to direct the volumes through the protocols, to the different protocols. I mean, what the arbitrary will be a logarithm where the cheapest trade when I swap, I'm drive through the cheapest trade, or what's the arbitrary thing at play here?
I think with TurboTrades, what we'll do is the default will be the quickest route and not the cheapest, but you will be able to choose the route which you want. So you could. This is all uh, currently in development, so it won't be live. Obviously, when we launch, we'll only have Maya. But once we've got various routes, then there will be options at the point of swapping, which will say, do you want to go through this route because it is the cheapest, or do you want to go through this route, which is the quickest? And both routes will show the fees, a fee breakdown of both of them. So it will just be another option which you choose, which will probably be located just at the bottom of the swap. It it shouldn't be too dissimilar to how it is now. Currently, it does show the fee breakdown as you choose to finalize a swap. It does show the fee breakdown, but it doesn't let you choose between it. So it's just for information. Once we have other chains, then that will become another section which you will have to choose before you finalize your swap. But yeah, the default should be speed, and then you will choose if you want it cheaper. And I can't think of another route that we will probably. I can't think of a route that will include off the top of my head. Another route that would include.
For example, sorry, you go on. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say Happy Easter because I did forget saying that. You reminded me because of that holiday stuff. But go ahead with the rest of your
Yeah,
question.
sure. Peace to everybody. Yeah. And yes, I want to point out like Tor swap is with the streaming swap is I think is giving precedence. Is giving a preferred route to price execution, no times. So it's interesting to see the. I maybe will place the question again in other space if I don't bother people, because it's interesting to me to see the different approach of the different UEs how they handle the liquidity of four or five of different decentralized cross-chain swap.
I think this is because of the turbo in their
Yeah.
brand. So
Well, yeah, and also
I get
Yeah.
another thing is that we haven't because we haven't actually started to do it, other factors will come into play. So, for example, if the difference in price is very expensive for it to be fast, and the difference in speed is not that much faster, then we may issue a warning, or we may have the front end do those calculations at that point. So um, the answer I gave was very, very generic, and there will be a lot more to it than that. But all things being equal, or as close to equal as possible, we will be optimizing for speed, but giving the people the choice. And yes, it is mostly because it is called TurboTrade. And one of the good things about Maya, Kuji, Dash is that they do actually the speed of execution is quite important to all of those things. Obviously, not with Ethereum, but yeah. So that was really the reason.
nice. So we also have Scott up here. Scott, you're on mute, but feel free to ask your question, man. Welcome.
Thank you for the words, and happy Easter to everybody. I'm looking forward to see you for the launch of Serai Dex. Thank you, everybody. Bye bye.
Thank you for coming up. Scott, are you there? Are you here with us? we don't hear you. So I guess
I think he's on mute. Scott, I think you're on
yeah.
mute.
All right. Well, I think we can be done for today. Thank you for coming online, everybody. Keepkey, TurboTrade, Kayaba. Any last word, guys, before we finish?
I wasn't expecting to come up today, but thanks for the invite and being so supportive.
Of course, it's all against Central Exchange here, guys. So anytime you want to come up, just connect, request the mic, and you always have a room here. We always have room here for you, man. All right, so check out TurboTrade on Friday. Buy yourself a Keepkey, participate in Serai's lunch, and do join every Mondays with Maya. You never know what you're gonna get. So thank you, everyone. Have a great start to your week. Happy Easter for those who celebrate, and yeah, let's keep going.
Thanks, guys. Thanks very much.
Thanks again. Bye, y'all.
See ya. Bye bye.